The power of never giving up. A story of perseverance. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between hills and valleys, lived a young man named Ethan. Ethan was like many other young men in the village, full of dreams, but unsure of how to make them a reality. He came from a humble family, and his life was not filled with luxury or abundance. But what he did have was a burning desire to improve his life and change his destiny. One day, Ethan decided to pursue his dream of becoming a successful entrepreneur. The idea was simple: open a small cafe in the heart of the village, where the community could gather, share stories, and enjoy a cup of coffee. It was a dream that inspired him every day. But as with every great story, the road to success was not an easy one. The journey was filled with obstacles and challenges. Ethan had no experience in running a cafe, and he had very little money. He used all his savings to rent a small place, buy equipment, and hire a few people to help him. But as he opened the doors of his cafe for the first time, things didn't go as expected. The customers didn't come. He didn't make enough money to cover his expenses, and soon, the bills started piling up. For the first time in his life, Ethan felt overwhelmed by the weight of failure. He thought about quitting, about closing the doors of the cafe and going back to a simple life. But deep inside, he knew that quitting would never bring him the happiness he sought. One cold evening, as he was cleaning the cafe after another empty day, an elderly man walked in. He looked at the empty cafe with a gentle smile and sat down at the counter. Ethan, feeling a little defeated, walked over to him. "Can I help you, sir?" Ethan asked politely. The elderly man looked up and said, "I'm not here to buy coffee, son. I'm here to remind you of something." Ethan was puzzled, but the man continued. "You're going through a tough time. I can see it in your eyes. But I want you to remember something. Success doesn't come easy. It never does. You've probably heard people say that the road to success is paved with failures. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's true. The most successful people in the world have failed the most, but they never gave up." Ethan listened intently, feeling a spark of hope deep inside him. Do you think the first time a bird tries to fly, it always gets it right? No, it falls many times, but it keeps trying, and eventually it soars high in the sky. That's what you need to do. You need to keep trying, keep going, even when it's hard. With those words, the elderly man stood up, paid for his coffee, and left, leaving Ethan in deep thought. The conversation stuck with him, and he realized that failure wasn't the end of the road. It was just part of the journey. The next morning, Ethan decided he wouldn't give up. He took a different approach. He started talking to his customers, asking them for feedback. He listened to their needs and adjusted his menu to cater to their tastes. He focused on creating a warm, inviting atmosphere, so people felt at home when they walked in. Slowly, the word spread. People started coming in for the unique blend of coffee and the cozy environment. Business picked up, but it wasn't easy. There were still many hard days, but Ethan had learned that the secret to success wasn't avoiding failure. The secret was to keep going despite it. He had to keep pushing through the challenges, one step at a time, and eventually his cafe became a thriving business. Years later, Ethan became one of the most respected entrepreneurs in his village. He had a successful cafe chain, and he often reflected on that day when he almost gave up. He realized that it was in that moment of despair, when he thought all hope was lost, that he found the true power of perseverance. The elderly man's words stayed with him. Success doesn't come easy, but if you keep trying, one day, you'll soar like the bird. Ethan's story is a reminder to all of us. No matter how difficult the road gets, never give up. Keep pushing, keep trying, and one day you will succeed. Moral of the story: success is not about avoiding failure. It's about learning from it, growing from it, and never giving up. Perseverance is the key to achieving your dreams, no matter how tough life gets.